What is up, guys? Welcome back to another episode today of the My Player Career Mode here on FIFA 18. And as we start today's episode off, showing you league table, and as you can see, Ben's parent club in Wolverhampton Wanderers currently sat third at the moment. So they are enjoying what has been a very good kind of first half of the season. We are close to getting halfway in, guys. As you know, there's 46 games you play within the championship. We're currently on 19. Ipswich, where Ben is currently on loan, is sat in 5th place. So they're doing pretty well as well. The only issue is Ipswich seem to be drawing a lot of games recently. But as I show the player stats here, Ben is currently in the goals list. He's actually within it. He's not anywhere near the top. He's not anywhere near the bottom, but he's within it at least, so you can actually see his name on the list, which for a centre midfielder, that's pretty good. You know, he's not playing as an out-and-out cam. He's playing as a centre midfielder. So, yeah. And as you can see there, guys, he's actually got to 81 rated at the moment, which is just stupid. Absolutely stupid. He shouldn't be playing in the championship, but that's where he's playing at the moment. And I'm sure at some stage he will be moving on into a different club, depending on if his teams can get promoted. That includes Wolves and Ipswich, because there may be a chance that he might get a permanent move to Ipswich if he manages to get promotion with them. We'll have to wait and find out. But make sure you guys tune in to the next episode of the My Player Career Mode, because it's going to have the first time that you guys will make an impact on Ben's career. I'm not going to say what it is yet. I don't want to spoil anything, but make sure you guys are tuning into the next one so you can cast your vote and have an impact on what Ben does in his career. So, in today's episode, we have 3 games to come, and they're going to be 3 very tough games as well. We've got Nottingham Forest first, then Middlesbrough, followed up with top of the table Reading. So 3 tough games for Ben and the lads. Let's see how they get on. In game number 1, it took a little bit of time for the first chance, 15 minutes. And in all honesty, Nottingham Forest did start this game off really well. But it was a moment of brilliance which opened up the scoring here. And it was on the Nottingham Forest side. Honestly, there wasn't too much that could have been done about that one for Ipswich, as Murphy just smashes a half volley into the back of the net from the edge of the area, makes the score 1-0. Ben was stood there kind of throwing his hands in the air, but truthfully, there's nothing he could have done, nothing the rest of the boys could have done. You'd see it from this angle, guys. It's an attempted cross. It gets headed out straight to the path of the man who puts the cross in originally, and on the first time half volley, he just hits a sensational strike, and Benny's actually stood behind him at the time as well. So he has a perfect view of this one. He can see it going into the back of the net, and that's probably what made him even more annoyed and was the reason he had a little bit of a paddy on the pitch there. But 27 minutes in, Ipswich looking to get themselves straight back into it. Ben involved in the build-up, gave it off to McGoldrick. McGoldrick out to the man on the left, gets it back to McGoldrick. His strike is beaten away by the Forest goalkeeper, and it is still 1-0 to the visitors. But into the 32nd minute, Ben found himself out on the left-hand side in a bit of space. Lovely ball to McGoldrick, continues his run, gets into the area, and he makes the score 1-1. And that is what Ben has done really well this season, finding areas, making runs that have mattered for his teammates, and that is another one right there. Literally, you know, there's a lot of players that would have just stopped there, admired their pass and not continued it. But if you watch that back, as soon as he plays that pass off to the left, he's on the move. He's ready to go. And it was good that he did that, because he got the return from McGoldrick and he makes the score 1-1. So you need match winners, or you need, you know, big players to step up. And Ben certainly does that here with his 7th goal of the season in the championship from centre midfield, which is very, very good indeed. So 1-1 here, and there's still the entirety of the second half to go. But nothing happened. Literally, nothing happened in the second half. It was a very cagey affair after that. The passes were going a bit astray. Defenders were doing pretty well, and it was a bit annoying to play, in all honesty, afterwards. But Ben played at a 9-point-something match rate. I think it was 9.1, so you can't really complain. He had a fantastic performance there. And Wolves again winning another game, this time away to Birmingham City. So they are picking up points as well. So as it stood, Wolves are really kind of beginning to open up the gap between Ipswich and themselves. Of course, it's our parent club, or Ben's parent club. So for him, it doesn't really matter. But at the same time, I kind of want the series to be interesting, where we meet Wolves in that final of the playoffs, because I think that'd be absolutely crazy to happen if we both can get there. So yeah, it'll make it a very interesting story indeed. But straight out of the first game, guys, into the second one. Ben again picked for this one, of course. This time, as I said, is against Middlesbrough, so another tough game. You can see Ben warming up. Of course, one of the players to watch from today's performances. Riverside is where we're playing, and Ben and the rest of the boys really needed to put in a shift here. You know, we can't afford to have another draw again. That was like our 11th draw, I think, of the season. Yeah, it was. We had 7 wins and 11 draws this season. 11. That's sensational. 11 out of the 20 games we played, or is it 21? 20 games? Wait. no, 11 out of the 20 games that they've played have been draws this season for Ipswich. So certainly need to improve on that front. And the problem was as well, some of those draws that we have got were games in which they were literally 1-0 up for the last 15 minutes and Ipswich crumbled. But 17 minutes into this one at the Riverside, Middlesbrough came through with Downing whipping across towards the back stick, and Adama at the back stick was so close to making the score 1-0 for Middlesbrough. He hit the bar with his header, then gave away a free kick right on the stroke of half-time. Wasn't a good first-half performance from the rest of the boys and Ben, and it looked as if Middlesbrough were really mounting a pressure on the goal to try and get themselves in the lead here. Adama, Baker, stood over this free kick, then ends up with it on target, but a great stop from the Ipswich Town keeper denies the opening goal again for Middlesbrough. So post and a decent save so far for them. It's not been a great start to this game for Ipswich though, but it did get good for us. 57 minutes in, Ben with a great run finds the pass through to McGoldrick, and McGoldrick slots home on literally the first chance that Ipswich got in the game, and it was 1-0 to the visitors. So yeah, disappointing first half, but they came out in the second. They looked a little bit better than they did in the first, and when you've got Ben making those runs, as I say, it's just so easy to open up space and find the passes, and that's what he does brilliantly, Ben. He gets these balls, and he's quite quick as well, to be honest, in terms of his pace. So he can get off the mark and get into these spaces that you probably wouldn't expect central midfielders to get there as soon as possible. Gets the space, opens it up, finds a pass to McGoldrick. He does the rest for Ipswich. So 1-0 up in the game. And to be honest, it wasn't really that deserved. As I say, that was Ipswich's first shot on goal, and they made it good. So 4 goals now for McGoldrick, still behind the 7 that Ben has currently got, even though he is a striker, but he has been a supportive striker, I guess, in this so far. So 1-0, looking to make even more impact, though, as Ben 68 minutes in this time. Little 1-2, McGoldrick bursting through. You can see there's literally no players here to aim for him. Decides to take on the defender, gets round him, whips across in, but he was actually taken out as he tried to do it, which means it's going to be a spot kick to Ipswich with 20 minutes to go. Ryan Shotton yellow carded there as Ben not too happy with the referee for that one, saying he maybe should have been given a little bit more. But I felt the yellow card was justified because, there wasn't really too much on, and it was just a late tackle in all honesty. So penalty kick given, Adam Clayton leaving the field here as he is replaced, but it's looking as if Ipswich are going to make the score 2-0 if McGoldrick can hold his nerve up against the Borough goalkeeper here. Ben playing at an 8.9 currently. McGoldrick steps up and he sends the keeper the wrong way. Makes the score 2-0, and that hopefully should be the points in the bag for Ipswich. They have been a little bit, I guess, worrisome when it comes to having the leads in the last few minutes of the game, giving too many chances away and giving some sloppy goals away. But at 2-0, with 20 minutes to go, you would like to think, the way they are playing in the second half, they would be able to hold on to this and get the full 3 points in the bag. So, disappointing for Borough, who on another day could quite have easily been 2-0 up going into half-time. Even though it was 0-0 at half-time, they come out in the second half and are now 2-0 down after that. So it literally took 5 more minutes, guys. We were all over it at this stage. Middlesbrough just had been demoralised by the fact they found themselves 2 goals down. Great play out wide here, and there is Ward on the end of that one to make the score 3-0 to Ipswich. The keeper gets a massive touch to this one, just cannot keep it out, sadly, for Borough. But thankfully for us, it's 3, and that is the points wrapped up, as the boys don't really celebrate too much now. Their job is done, effectively. They did what they needed to do, came out in the second half, put a performance up, and Ben especially was absolutely brilliant in it. He made sure he took control of the game and dictated the pace from the centre of the park, and that's what you needed him to do. So, yeah, it was a good finish from Ward, made the score 3-0. Pretty much, it summed up a great second half performance, but it was worrying after the first half because we didn't start off great. And as I say, on another day, Borough could have quite easily been 2-0 up going into half-time. And then with a minute to play, Ben on the ball again, feeds it out wide here. It's Sears on the ball, gets a nice low-driven cross across the face of goal. And there is McGoldrick to cap off a brilliant day for himself, grabbing the 3rd of the day and making sure he takes home his match ball with this as well. So, decent performance from McGoldrick. And as I said, he was still behind Ben in terms of goals this season. That certainly has closed the gap. So, yeah. I think that puts him on 6 now for the season, and Ben, of course, on 7. So McGoldrick isn't too far away. We'll see if Ben can still be the leader of the goals at the club, currently in the league after the last game of the episode. But that one capped off a very good second half performance. 4-0 win, 3 points in the board. Ben again playing to an unbelievable match rating, very much like he did in the first game. And there is McGoldrick going to celebrate and grab his match ball from the day. Fantastic performance from him. Fantastic performance from the rest of the lads. But you have to give Ben major credit. He did dictate the pace in that game. Second half especially didn't allow the midfielders of Middlesbrough to really get into the game. And he played at a 9.3. But of course, the hat-trick for McGoldrick means that he will pick up man of the match for this one here. And there you can see a 10 match rating from him. Match facts wise though, it was a very even game. So it could have quite easily gone either way. But Wolves have lost in their game. They lost 3-0 to Sunderland, guys. Disappointing for them, but they've, enjoyed still a very good start to the season. I'm sure they will still be up there come the end of it. Reading winning against Cardiff just before they took on us, which meant they did hold top spot by actual points. Before going into that, they were joint with Hull before the episode, but that victory there means they hold top spot alone on its own. So when we went on to take them on here, this was going to be a kind of interesting game to see exactly who would be the better club. Of course, you've got Ben, who is playing out of his mind at the moment in this series. There they are, the teams on the league table. Of course, Reading first, Ipswich in fourth, even though they've had 11 draws this year, which is just crazy. Player to watch went to McGoldrick after his hat-trick. Understandable, really. But what I was really looking forward to was to seeing how Ben would perform against this top-of-the-table Reading side. Could he dictate the pace like he did against the Middlesbrough side in this one here against the top-of-the-table Reading? That was what I wanted to find out. And the midfield from Reading, they played a 5 at the back. They had a 2-man midfield like we did. So it's going to be a tough affair, this one. But 58 minutes in, that's how long it took for the first chance. Great work from Ben. Little ball roll, trying to entice the defender in. Continues his run again. Great little stop from there. Gets the curling effort goalwards. And that would have been truly brilliant from Ben had it have gone in. But unfortunately, it ends up hitting the upright and comes out. It was so agonizing for Ben. I felt harsh because truly he did exceptionally well to get the chance originally anyway. And then the strike itself is inch perfect. But unfortunately, it just hits the bar and goes over. And then he had another attempt. This time it falls to our teammate, who then hits one against the woodwork for us again. And that time it was the post. Still trying to keep up the pressure, though. He picked up a free kick on the edge of the area, which was then going to be taken, I think, by our number 11 here, who gets his strike away. You'll see it in a moment. There it is coming in. And a great stop from Vito Manone keeps us out again. And into the 90th minute, you're thinking maybe, just maybe, good defensive block there from the corner. Ben's going to try and whip it in for the final time in the game, but Manone comes out and deals with the cross. So, to be honest, we played against top-of-the-table Reading. Ben should have scored. He had a great effort which came off the top of the crossbar you saw there. They then hit the post again, did Ipswich. And truly, they were the better team. So although Reading were top of the table, you had to give Ipswich credit. They did play exceptionally well. But once again, it's another draw. So that's the 12th draw now of the season for Ipswich. Wolves winning against Sheffield Wednesday as they pick up a 2-0 win there, which moves them back up ahead of Ipswich after that one. They were sat in 5th place, I do believe Wolves are even 6th before that, but that puts them back into 4th. Ipswich 5th. It's very, very tight within this to see who's going to get the final playoff spot. But that's going to be it for today's episode, guys. Thank you so much for watching this one. If you did enjoy it, a like rating would be greatly appreciated. As I said, don't miss the next one, guys, because you guys will have the first chance to vote and have an impact on Ben's career. I'll see you all again at 6 p.m. UK time tonight, guys. Adios.